minutes to go. Oh, wait, we're hearing it now. The pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner and see what happens.
With the fifth pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback, Alabama.
The tears of unfathomable sadness. Yummy, yummy.
Oh, what is up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I am back with another episode of Beyond the Scoreboard. Vancat, let me know if you can hear me. I never really could hear myself. I guess I'm all good. I'm looking at my mic levels. So this is episode 2 of Beyond the Scoreboard, the deep dive into all things NFL, especially the Miami Dolphins. Let me see, Manny B. Shout out to Manny B in the building. So let me get to this. So this is the topic of today's debate, and show, and I will drop the link after I get my spiel off, because you know how it is. This is the people's show, and I let everybody come on and talk about their team, and I am inviting Dallas Cowboy fans. Hey, APB, put the APB out for tequila. APB for tequila. APB also for Ben. I know Ben said he's coming, so we'll see if he makes good to that promise, because he said he is coming up. But so the topic of today's show is this the end for the Miami Dolphins? We know a few weeks ago I said that the Dolphins would go 12-5. And we'd also be in the Super Bowl this year. And but I did say the one caveat, as long as the Samoan sniper stays upright. So this past Thursday, the Dolphins played the Buffalo Bills in just a horrendous game. And I want to say this is the first time in maybe 20 years I actually turned a Dolphin game off before the game was over. So I turned the game off after the third interception, after the pick six. I turned the game off. I was just frustrated. First of all, I hate Thursday night games. I don't like the fact that they'll have them play Sunday, then come right back Thursday night and play. I hate that. They got to stop doing that, because you're not giving these guys enough time to recover. I really, really, really don't like that. So nevertheless, Miami plays a Thursday night game against their daddies, the guys that own them. I should say Josh Allen, because Josh Allen owns the Miami Dolphins. He is their father. He's 12-2 against the Dolphins all time. Completely obliterates, even with Buffalo having a depleted defense, no receivers, they still found a way to just absolutely crush the Dolphins at home. It wasn't even close. Like the game, whatever the score ended up being, what was it, like 31-10 or some crap like that? That game could have been 70-10. It was that bad. So let's get into it. Mike McDaniel, still, his play calling has regressed. His clock management is horrendous still, and the defense I don't know. The defense maybe needs to hit the weight room or something. They can't tackle. So I was at we had a I wouldn't say a reunion, but our high school had our tailgate. Our high school had our annual tailgate yesterday. So we were out there, and all the people, all the ridicule of the Dolphins, everybody's just looking at me like, oh my God, the Dolphins are terrible. The Dolphins are terrible. So I got in a conversation with a 49er fan. And he said something that I had to just take into consideration because it's true. He said the Dolphins are trying to be the 49ers without the toughness. And man, that hit me. You know, when somebody says something to you and it absolutely just hits you because you know it's so true. The Miami Dolphins are trying to be the 49ers minus the toughness. And that is so true because the Dolphins are a finesse team and a weak team as far as they have no running game between the tackles. They can't like hit the holes. They have no receivers, no physical receivers. So you got Tyreek Hill, which is one of the best receivers in the NFL. Jalen Waddle, fantastic receiver, but you have no physicality on the outside. Durham Smythe can't catch a cold. They have zero physicality. Their runners run with finesse. The only runner that runs between the tackles is Jeff Wilson, and he's always hurt. So, he doesn't start. A-Chain is a great multi-purpose back, but he can't run between the tackles. The O-line gets zero push. So that one hurt. When he said that, I'm just like, oh my goodness, they are a finesse team. And that's why, hell, even Jordan Poyer, when he came over to the Dolphins, he said that the take on the Dolphins is that they are soft. When you punch them in the mouth, there's nothing they could do. And it's true. I mean, we've seen it time and time again. Whenever they play the Ravens, whenever they play a physical team, they just get pushed around. So they're playing their daddies on Thursday, and the game is going shitty as it is. I turned the game off in the third quarter. Was it third quarter? Yeah, third quarter after the pick six. I'm like, you know what? This is it. Whatever. I'm done. I can't do this. And I'm the guy who never missed a game during the 2007 season, which was the worst Dolphin team ever. But I watched every single game, every snap, every second, didn't miss a minute of it. But this game, I just couldn't watch anymore. I was just like, it was too frustrating. It was too infuriating. I just couldn't do it. And so I wake up and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna see what happened. I'll listen to the local sports radio. I'll listen to the guys I listen to on YouTube. So I scrolled through YouTube, and not even that. In one of my groups, everybody was just like, oh my God, it happened again. I'm like, oh no, what happened? What are you talking about? I see that Tua had another concussion. And I'm just like, oh, not again. Not again. He had his first one last year. Well, the first one that we knew about, he had against Buffalo last year in that game where they said that it was a back injury, but it really was a concussion. And then lo and behold, he goes and plays on Thursday night. And that's when he plays in the game in Cincinnati where his hands do the thing. So here's the long and short of it. Everybody knows Tua. I put a lot of pressure on Tua as being the savior of the Dolphins. I put a lot of onus that Tua was going to be the guy to lead us to the promised land. But me as a human being, me as a father, I think it's best that Tua call it a day. And I can't, man, I never thought I'd be the one to say this, but I think Tua should wrap it up. He has a young wife. He's 26. I mean, he's made millions over and over and over again. So hopefully he has enough money for him and his family to live off for, multi lifetimes over. He has to think about his wife. He has to think about his two young kids. I'm gonna put the link in the chat, Bones, but I gotta, I gotta get my stuff off first. He has young kids. I think he needs to think about his quality of life. And, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to tell a man what they should do. Football players are stubborn, but the last thing you want to see, and the thing about it, his injuries, everybody gets concussions in the NFL. I bet you there's more concussions in the NFL than what gets reported. The problem is his concussions. His concussions look worse than everybody else. Like, I had a concussion. To tell the story, I got, me and my wife and Moon got us out on the beach running, and I fell into a pothole and smashed my head up against the sand. Ended up having a concussion, didn't even know. But his concussions are like, that's when you see the whole hand thing. And it's like, I watched today Justin Herbert. I watched Trevor Lawrence. They take off and they run and they lower their shoulder and they run defenders over. When Tua takes off and run, all of Miami is collectively holding their breath like, please don't get hurt. Please don't get hurt. And look what happens. He's trying to get a first down, trying to be a soldier, getting some offense for his team, and he ends up getting hurt, being tackled by all people, Damar Hamlin, the guy that had basically his heart stopped on the field, what was it, last year? So that's, I guess you call that poetic justice, but two players in the past few years that have the scariest injuries on the field, colliding with one another. But me as a Dolphin fan, and not just a Dolphin fan aside, because Tua gives us the best chance of winning, but I'd like to see the guy have a good quality of life. I think he should retire. I honestly think the Dolphins should not reactivate him again. And let the chips fall where they may, just because of the severity. Like I said, his concussions it's not just like a woozy. He was able to walk off the field based on what I saw, but his concussions aren't just like, oh my God, my brains are rattled, let me be done. His concussions are like his hands are doing he's having like neurological damage type thing. Chris Nowinski of WWE fame, he was the one that asked for Chris Benoit, that murderer's brain, after everything, because he wanted to examine it. We know Chris Benoit, the whole concussion thing. And I just don't want to see somebody this young, who seems like a good dude, I've never heard anybody say anything bad about him, just have a poor quality of life. He may never get another concussion again, but what if he does? What if he gets another one and he's not able to walk off the field? Like, that's all I'm saying is I just hope whatever decision he makes, that it is best for him and his family, and he doesn't make it out of a macho, I'm trying to be a macho football player, I don't want to walk away because of an injury type thing. I saw earlier this morning, I think it was Steve Mariucci was being interviewed, and he was talking about when he had to tell Steve Young, like, hey, I can't in good faith put you back in the game anymore. You having too many concussions, and I like, as a human being, like, I love you. I want to see you have a good quality of life. And sometimes these guys, you got to protect them from themselves. And I think this is a point where Mike McDaniel is going to have a long conversation with Tua and protect him from himself, that he does any more damage. Because like I say, whenever I see him take off the run, I'm just like, oh my God, please don't get hurt, or slide, please slide. Why are you trying to, lower your shoulder and things like that? It's like when he runs, he's so unathletic. When you watch Justin Herbert run, you're like, oh man. When you watch Josh Allen run, you're like, oh man. Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, you watch these guys run, even Baker Mayfield, you're like, oh man, they're going to get it. But when Tua runs, you're just like holding your breath, like, oh God, please don't get hurt. So that's my thing with that. Now, so where do we go from here? The name that's been bandied around, the name that I think, I mean, it should be a no-brainer. I'm getting on the phone with Ryan Tannehill right now, and I'm like, hey, this is a situation. Come back home and come lead this team. You got two horses at receiver. You got a fairly decent run game. The O-line is shit, but hey, your O-line was shit all your history here, so you're used to it. Ryan Tannehill because people were telling me yesterday at the tailgate, like, oh, Tannehill can't run McDaniel's offense. You know what? McDaniel can't run McDaniel's offense. Stop doing the shit. You're not the 49ers. Stop. You don't have the horses that the 49ers have. Run a pro set offense and throw the damn ball, line up, run the ball between the tackles, be an NFL team. This is almost like the Wildcat year. Miami came out with the Wildcats, shocked the NFL for a few games. Everybody got hip to it and shut it down. Line up, run a damn pro style NFL offense and just go. I think Ryan Tannehill would be a great fit. I have a personal story. Ryan Tannehill visited my daughter when she was in the hospital. So I always got a soft spot in my heart for Ryan Tannehill. So I'd love to see Ryan Tannehill come back to Miami, finish his career as a Dolphin. And with this team as it's currently constructed, he may have some success. But me as a human being, as a football fan, I'm like, yeah, I want Tua to come back. But me as a human being, I think Tua should wrap it up. So here we get this tweet earlier that I did see. So again, it's damn what I say, damn what anybody says. Tua seems like he's already made his decision. So this comes from Barry Jackson. So he says Tua has no plans to retire. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport said this morning he will be healthy enough to play. As concussion experts told me, there is no medical evidence that would necessitate retiring. So there you have it. He's ready. I don't, and I'm you'll probably see Tua after the bye. So I'm gonna drop the link for you guys to come up. Again, this ain't a long show. The Dolphins didn't play. The Dolphins played pathetic. The Dolphins have not been the Dolphins this season. They lucked out and beat Jacksonville. And the Buffalo Bills own them and they're their daddy. So, it is what it is with that. They can't beat Buffalo. So before I drop this link, let me let's look at the schedule, because as it looks right now, Skylar Thompson is where we at. I don't know. You got to have a backup quarterback. So maybe they sign somebody. I don't know. I mean, Ryan Fitzpatrick is out there. I say sign Tannehill. Give Tannehill whatever he wants and just, have him come lead this ship, because Skylar Thompson's just not going to do it. Skylar is a good preseason quarterback, but when you give him the reins of the team, he can't get it done. So week 3, so next week we play Seattle. With Seattle isn't scary at all. That's a very beatable team. You could beat Seattle. Tennessee, Will Levis has regressed big time. I saw him do like the most bonehead play today for a turnover. Then you have the surprising New England Patriots, who actually playing pretty good. I mean, New England, the offense is as boring as could be, but hey, they're going to grind you out to that. Again, the Patriots are more physical than the Dolphins, so that's not even going to be an easy game. Then you have the bye in week 6. I think Tua will be back for that Indianapolis Colts game if the Dolphins just don't outright tell him, hey, you're going to have to retire. And I think from what I heard, if the Dolphins tell him he has to retire, then they had to pay him his guaranteed money. But if he just says, hey, I'm not going to, I retire, then he's not owed the guarantee. He's going to get a percentage of it, but he's not owed the guarantee. That's what I was told. That's what everybody was talking about yesterday. Yesterday, I was just getting destroyed because I'm a Dolphin fan and I'm a Seminole fan on top of it. So my Seminoles can't beat anybody, losing to Memphis yesterday, 20-12. So the Seminoles start 0-3 for like the first time in 50 years. I don't know where the win is going to come from with that horrendous team. I don't know. So I think we'll see Tua after the bye week against the Colts. Again, not a good team. The Colts suck. You know what? I made the point that this schedule was a murderous row, but the more I look at it and what I've seen so far in these first 2 weeks, it absolutely isn't. If Skylar Thompson can get out of his head, he can win. He could definitely win in Seattle. He absolutely could beat the Titans on Monday night. I almost said Monday Night Raw. That's tomorrow night. He definitely could beat the Titans on Monday Night Football, and he absolutely could beat the Patriots. So we're 1-1 right now. We could see a scenario where the Dolphins maybe could go into the bye at, let's say, 3-2. Let's just say we'll trip up one of those games. They could go in like 3-2, 2-3 at the worst, with Tua coming back and leading the helm. If he's okay, I still say get Ryan Tannehill and let him play out the season. But Tua looks like he wants to come back. I mean, because it's the Warrior, man. Nobody at 26 years old, when you're at the top of what you do, nobody wants to say, hey, you can't do it anymore. You got to stop. So I get it. I really get it, man. It's the man. Sometimes men, you got to protect us from ourselves, but that's where we are. So I figure we could beat Seattle, but just say we lose that game, you fall 1-2, but then you beat Tennessee, you beat the Patriots. That's 3-2 going into the bye. So, I think that's doable. I really think that's doable. But we'll see how it goes. Nevertheless, I'm still Team Dolphin. I'm still riding out for my boys, man. It's just it's heartbreaking that this had to happen, but with the strength of schedule being as soft as it is this before the bye, this kind of works out a little bit where I think Skylar Thompson, or I'm still holding out hope for Ryan Tannehill, can lead this team, until Tua gets back. So there we are, Jimmy G. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So there we are. Let me go ahead and drop the link to this. And y'all come on up. I got about 20 more minutes before I got to go. And let's talk some football. As I wait for the first victim to come up, let me go over some of the scores. So you did have the Dolphins getting obliterated and embarrassed on Thursday night, 31-10. And the shocker of the day, the Vikings over the 49ers, 23-13. Justin Jefferson did go out of the game, though, so we're going to see what that happens. Oh, so Seattle did come back to beat the Patriots 23-20. Okay, and the Washington Commanders did come back to beat the lowly Giants, because the Giants looked like they were on their way to their first win of the season, so they won 21-18. Carolina, just the dregs of the NFL, losing 26-3 to the Chargers. In the shocker of the day, the obliteration, the annihilation, the Cowboys get throttled by the New Orleans Saints 44-19. 44-19, total destruction for the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. The Packers did pull out the win over the Colts 16-10. The Browns held on to beat the Jaguars 18-13, and the Jets over the Titans 24-17. And this wrapped up recently, the Buccaneers 20-16 over the Lions. The Raiders pulled out the win 26-23 over the Ravens. The Ravens fall to 0-2 this season. And right now the Cardinals are leading the Rams 21-0. The Chiefs and Bengals are tied up at 3. The Steelers 7-0 over the Broncos. And then later tonight you have the Bears and Texans. And then tomorrow night you have the Falcons and Eagles. So let me see who's up here. Bones is saying that your device can't connect. So I don't know what's going on there. I know you want to come on and gloat. I know you want to come on and gloat, but it's saying your device will not connect. So go out and try to come back in. Put that APB out for Ben. Put that APB out for Ben, because I do need a Cowboy fan to come up here and explain what's going on. I do, Keela's always the first person here. I conspicuous by her absence. I have not seen Keela today. I mean, I do need a Cowboy fan to come up here and explain what's going on. The APB is out for Ben. I need Ben to come on and taste your medicine. Come on up. It's 13 of y'all watching. Come on up. Somebody hit the link. The link is in the chat. Come on up. Oh, Thinking Black. Ben owes us on the counter. Yeah, Ben. Hey, Thinking Black. Ben. Hey, Thinking Black is a Buffalo Bill fan, so I always had to bow down to him because I mean they own us, so I always had to bow down to them. It's not like. Oh, I do see Manny in the building. What's going on, Manny?
What's going on, man? You don't gotta tell me twice. I'll be up there, man. Um, Jeez, man, what a week it's been, bro.
Hold on, let me let
Jeez,
me
what a
let me
week.
let me try to turn your mic up because you sound
Wow.
a little low there. All right, go ahead.
Sounds better right now or not?
Yeah, just put your phone to your mouth, but you sound louder now.
No, it's 'cause I don't know. I got a headset in right now,
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
but yeah, no, just saying, man, what a week. What a week. Geez, one comment that I got, right? We talk about CTE and brain damage, and the unfortunate truth of what depression plus CTE could do to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And I think Tua's retirement needs to be a choice between him and his family, and I would hope nobody pressures him into making the wrong choice. Because if, let's say, retirement is what he gets pushed to do, but it's not really what he wants to do, that could put him into a depression. You know what I'm saying? And along with the CTE that he's definitely got to have, that could be a sign for some bad things. I think the decision has to come from Tua, and honestly, just Tua alone, he needs to really, really think about life, think about what's important to him, and make the best decision for Tua first and foremost, and then his family. You know what I mean? That's
So
just a little bit I got to say about it.
so as a Dolphin fan, what do you personally want to happen though?
Ah, I mean, we're talking about Dolphin fan. I just want to win some football. I don't care who's winning right now, bro. But honestly, the performance that we just seen against the Bills, which it's the Bills, tough team. I kind of want to rip that stigma of us, kind of being the best, worst team in the NFL. Because that's what it feels like. It feels like we are the best, worst team that there is in football. You put us up against a bad team, we look like a good team. You put us up against a good team, we look like a bad team. You know what I mean? Which is better than most of the league, but it's not good enough to hang with the big boys. So I know Skyler's got to start, this next week. Um, but again, it's a team that I don't see. Like, yeah, sure, they're doing all right. Who they played today? They played the Jets, right? Close game against the Jets, or was
No,
it the
no,
Patriots?
the Seahawks just barely eked one out over the Patriots. Shout
Patriots,
out
yeah.
to my Tua in the building. Appreciate you coming by earlier for the MMA show. Yeah, they beat the Patriots today.
So again, I'm not really too worried about that team, even the Titans. Not really too worried about them. Not saying that we're gonna win. You know what I'm saying? There's huge chance we still lose these games. But shoot, I really don't know the schedule like that off the top of my head. I'm not sure what's our next big time opponent. I don't even know, to be honest. I know we don't have that much this
Well,
season. This is
we got the
boom,
Seahawks, the
perfect.
Titans on Monday night. We got the Patriots. Then you got your bye week. You have the Colts, Cardinals, and Buffalo again in week 9. That'll be the biggest challenge. Will be
Yeah,
Buffalo.
of course. Dang it, man. You see, because we could go out and we could win the next, what is that, 5 games, six
Yeah,
games, two,
I,
four,
I
five
think
games. We could win those, and
I
people are
think the
going to
way
be like,
it's
oh my God, it's the Dolphins. They are a team.
I think the way it's set up, if Skyler can just can manage the team, there's some winnable games there, at least to be 500 by the time Tua gets back. I mean, I still think Ryan Tannehill should be the option, but you know.
I mean, I would like to see Ryan Tannehill, but I know Jimmy G's a name that's getting thrown around out there, and I'm not too upset with that name either.
Oh
But
hell
honestly, I don't. What do you mean? I mean,
no.
relax, man. He's not. I mean, he's better than Skyler. In my opinion, from film in the past. God knows if Jimmy G could come back and be that same guy. But right now with Skyler, because if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Skyler have some kind of injury history too? Doesn't he be missing games, missing snaps?
No,
Or am I
not really.
tripping? Am I
No,
tripping? I gotta look back. I gotta look back at that with the Teddy Bridgewater. I know Teddy Bridgewater had got an injury when he came in as a backup.
yeah, his hand. Skyler,
So
Skyler just can't seem to get the team in a positive direction. Like they can't get yards. They can't move the ball when he's in command. And that's why this whole Jimmy G thing, I don't know. I've heard Trey Lance.
no,
Uh
I don't know about that one.
I've heard
For me,
I've heard people
yeah.
throw Jameis Winston's name around. Yes, I mean there's just a bunch of names being thrown around. I just think Ryan Tannehill would be the best fit. Bones, I know you want to gloat. I mean, you got an undefeated football team.
Yeah, I was just letting y'all have y'all moment. You know what I'm saying? But I want to have my moment now.
We ain't got no moment. This ain't happy. This ain't no happy time.
Hey, let's go Bucks, man! I picked them to win. This was a revenge game from last year in the playoffs in the divisional matchup. We went to Detroit after we beat the Eagles in the playoffs. Went to Detroit. We lost. I think it was 32 to 23, something like that. Today, the first play on defense, we got to pick. It was getting some turnovers. I like that. Baker, he was taking off. He was running for some first downs. He ran for at least 3 first downs, which I love. You know what I'm saying? And you made the point earlier that when your quarterback, every time he scrambles, you hold your breath. And with me, every time Baker scrambles, I just, get excited because I know he's going to get that first.
Yeah.
Being a quarterback is more than just numbers. It's about how you lead your team and how your team rally around you. And Baker, even though he's not the best quarterback as far as numbers wise or skills wise, his team always, he's a great leader of men, and his team always come behind him or whatever. So I like that. Chris Godwin had 3 receptions, 117 yards. We got a new offensive coordinator, and he's instilling the Rams offense and inside our team, which is pretty cool so far. I'm just happy as hell, man. We 2-0. I'm looking forward to see what we're gonna do this year.
Who you guys got next?
I think the Broncos. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that's another win.
We should be able to beat them. I think we got the Broncos, and then we got the Falcons.
So you know what's funny? You guys saw me saying it in the chat. There was a parlay on the Hard Rock app. I think it was 3 receivers. Justin Jefferson. I forget who the other 2 were, and the first 2 got the over 80 in like the first quarter, and I'm pretty sure the other one did. And I thought I hit bet, but I didn't have any money in that account, so I went to go add money to it, and I must have not hit the bet feature.
Yeah, that's
and
terrible,
the whole
bro.
time I thought I did. So as I'm watching Ben gloat about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I bust that lick too, only to look at my bets and realize I didn't bet on it. I'm like,
that's
that hurt.
I'm like, no. Who's leading in the pool? I see you put the picture in, but I didn't get to look at it yet.
Mr. Straight talking himself, I believe.
Oh, I'm leading. Oh yeah, well,
yeah.
Y'all got a little fantasy league going on?
No, we make picks on the games every week. You know what? I've never played fantasy football before.
Okay,
Never.
To me that's a form of fantasy football. That's the kind of fantasy football like the little pick'ems, the weekly pick'ems. I mess around with them things.
Hey, but Trevor, my brother right behind you, because you got 6 wins and he got 5.
Oh God. I get a lot of joy every football season seeing misery on your brother's face and Ben's face.
Yeah. Where Ben at, man?
Yeah, Ben, because Ben told me he had to jump in the shower, then he's gonna come on. Typical Cowboy fan. He don't want to answer.
Wash it off. He gotta wash it off. I feel that. I took a shower right after that Thursday night game before I had to get that off me, man.
Hey, the Cowboys got throttled, man. Like it. So I know.
The worst part is they had a 40-yard touchdown bomb and like a 70-yard touchdown bomb against their defense.
I know Brent was saying that that the Saints are for real. I don't know. first 2 weeks, you can't tell who's for real because these scores are still low. The defenses are ahead of the offenses by far. So I don't know. I don't know who's.
These Bills look for real.
Hey, but the Saints are a home team, and their first 2 games have been at home. And plus, the first game was against the Panthers, so that's like a bye week.
Yeah, I wish we had the Panthers on the schedule this year so we can get some health. Just beat up on them and use them as a slump buster. You know when you're not doing good with the ladies. You know you're not doing good with the ladies. You always got to get you a slump buster in there. So fellas, so it doesn't look like the Cowboys.
You gotta go fish the pond because the lake is getting too big.
Yeah, you gotta get a slump buster in there. Don't look like the Cowboy fans gonna come up, man. I get it though. I'd be embarrassed too.
How come every time they lose, he go take a shower and don't come on the show, man?
Yeah, because that's Ben for you. Ben won't ever show up. Now let them win next week. He gonna be the first one on. He won't never show up when they get throttled, man. So hey, it is what it is. But you guys got any final words on what we've seen so far before I go ahead and close down?
No, Justin Jefferson had a 97-yard touchdown reception. That was crazy. No, let's go Bucs.
He came back. Wait, Justin Jefferson came back after the injury though?
No,
I'm talking about before. Yeah.
Oh, because he went out the game, bro. That's not looking too good. Who else went out, bro? Nick Bosa.
Yeah, Bosa got hurt.
Bosa went down. That was a good game too, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. You can't tell. You can't tell what's really going on right now because like you're getting all these injuries. The quarterback play is still not elite. Nobody's real. Well, look like Kyler Murray's having a game of his life. I need him to go for 250 today, and I'll be good. Look like he's on his way to do that.
I mean, some teams that do look. I mean, it feels like we're not looking too good right now, man. It looks like we're looking stale. Even with our starting quarterback, we were looking stale on offense. Our defense is not making plays. I mean, I guess they did kind of make plays against Jacksonville, but damn, dog, this last Thursday, we was getting beat up left and right, left hook, uppercut. Man, they was beating us while we was down, bro. We was down and they was whooping us.
Hey, Trevor, you didn't make a Tyreek Hill video, did you?
No, I just addressed it. I addressed it before the show last week. Okay. What do you guys feel about the Thursday games? I hate them.
Yeah, I don't like it when my team is playing on Thursday. I don't like it.
I think they need to find a way to. I don't know, man, because they're trying to squeeze it all. I mean, football's the sport that you can't really take too much time off because you get cold. So I would feel like, sure, coming off the bye week, like they got to find a way to make it that everybody could play after a bye week. Maybe find a way to give everybody 2 bye weeks in a season. I don't know, man. They're talking about extending the season. How about they add a little bye in there? Let teams, instead of, this team gets an early bye, this team gets a late bye. How about everybody get an early bye, everybody get a late bye? Something like that. They got to figure it out, man. Because
that's a good idea, man.
These Thursday night games is not it, man.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Having them play the Thursday night game coming off the bye. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
But that's hard, dog. That's so hard to make a schedule to make that fit perfectly like that.
Yeah.
That's why you got to squeeze the 2 byes in there. Because remember, also not everybody gets a Thursday night. Maybe give everybody a Thursday night. I don't know. Or maybe everybody does get a Thursday night.
Everybody does play a Thursday night game.
You might be right. I think it's Monday night I was thinking about.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But yeah, man, let me see. Thursday night football is stupid. They want a game every day just for the TV money. Absolutely, thinking black. I hate the Thursday night games because when you look at it, every major concussion by Tua took place on a Thursday. They need to just have the Dolphins stop playing on Thursday and maybe our quarterback will stay upright. Like this is crazy.
Hey, look, the thing is, you can't promote player safety and then have them play Thursday after playing Sunday. It's
exactly. You gotta have that. You gotta have at least a full week in between games. Like that's crazy, man. That you can't do that in a car crash. Can you imagine playing like middle linebacker, somebody that's hitting the hole every single play? Like, come on, man. So that's what I'm saying. I think more people have concussions than we know, but Tua's concussions are just bad concussions just because when he gets concussed, he does the hand movements, he can't walk, he can't
He's out. He's out for a little while. He's out for at least 30 seconds.
It's like
lights out, dog.
It's like that Irene Aldana last night, like that, bro. When she gets her ass kicked, she gets her ass kicked. Like I've seen people in UFC get destroyed, but not like that. Like her injuries, her face is completely brutalized. But I also said that if she coming back to fight again, then Tua might be able to come back because, bro, she took a. I've never seen a cut in somebody's head that deep before. Like I've never seen that. Game should be on the Lord's Day alone.
I think he's gonna get cleared. I think they're gonna clear him because concussions. I feel like it's not there. I don't think there's a way for them to be like, okay, because obviously he's prone to him. It's obvious that he's prone to him. The doctor's like, oh, he's just as likely to get a concussion as everybody else. So obviously it's bullshit. There's just not enough tests and evidence to prove that. You know what I mean? But it's dead ass obvious that this man, because his hits, that hit, yeah, it was a hard hit. But dude, I don't think that was a knockout kind of hit. Like it wasn't a big blow to the head like that. It was just his neck kind of got twisted in a weird way. And I don't know, bro. Them hits don't even look too hard. The one against Green Bay, the original one against Buffalo, where they said it was a back injury, that wasn't a big. They pushed him, bro. Yeah, they pushed him and he fell back. Yeah. He fell back. He lost his footing and oh, whoopsie, and he's out. You know what I'm saying?
I think you said it best, Trevor. They owe him $200 million. So I think
it'll be 124.
124. Yeah, so I think they're gonna try to get him back on the field.
Well, but then that's where you like, hey, that's where your ethics and morals come in, which I'm not gonna.
I don't think these owners have ethics and morals.
I mean,
yeah, man.
Stephen Ross has spent a shit ton of money this year, and he's not getting a return on investment. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, as a father to a young child, I would rather not be spaghetti brains when it comes time to play with my daughter.
I mean, I'm with you, but again, I don't think there's enough evidence to prove that you're going to be spaghetti brains.
I mean, hey, you're right. You're right.
You know what I mean? Not enough evidence, so that's why
I also don't want when he gets in his 40s to be Chris Benoit either.
Hey, Trevor, look at that last comment.
I mean, we don't know what happened with Chris Benoit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what that situation was, you know. But like I said, you know, God forbid the game gets taken from him. It's not his decision. He's forced to stop playing. You know, that could, especially if he loves the game as much as I think he loves the game. You know what I mean? Tom Brady loved the game so much, he told his wife, yo, deuces, I don't need you and all your money they be talking about. I don't need that. I can get through whatever. I want to go play football. It meant that much to him that he was willing to divorce his wife, break up his home. You know what I'm saying? To some guys, this game is more important than their family. It's sad to say, but it is what it is, man. It's you don't know how it's going to affect them if they force him to retire. You know, maybe he'll go play in another league somewhere else. Who knows?
So to your point, I want to read my Tua says Brady's about to be our quarterback. So they have been throwing that around, but Brady has that $375 million deal to do
he's gonna be on Fox next week.
Say that again.
He's gonna be on Fox next week covering the Cowboys game against, I forgot who they playing, but he's gonna be on Fox next week commentating.
Yeah, Tom Brady. You know, Stephen Ross wanted Tom Brady to begin with. And then Muta, my two always says there's a significant amount of evidence to suggest that you're going to be spaghetti brains. And see, that's what I think. But to that point, though, so Manny was saying if you take it from him, you know, he linked the depression and everything. So on a very very
It turns
small
to, it could
scale.
turn to alcohol. It could turn to,
Yeah. On a
alcoholism,
very,
drugs. It could turn into gambling. It could turn into anything. You know,
well,
depression is another.
I don't think his personality would lean to that though. Just the type of dude he is. But
Hey,
on a
depression will make people do things that you never would have thought.
see
You
that's
know, some
weird
people
though.
steal. Some people steal. You
That
know,
that's
some people
that's
get
so
into.
weird. That's so weird though with the depression thing though, because the man got all the man he probably has at least $30 million. Just at
Yeah,
least
I feel
Yeah,
you.
thirty
yeah, yeah.
million dollars.
But Trevor, that's not going to replace that adrenaline rush of walking onto the field every Sunday.
Well, that's what I'm about to say. On a very small scale. Like, what I do for a living. I've been doing it for 21 years. And in the past few years, I got two major injuries to a point where it's just like, oh man, you got to start thinking now, do you want to keep doing this, or you may need to wrap it up. So I get it. Like the warrior in me is like, hey, doctors, stitch them bitches up and let's keep on going. But when you got your wife and your daughter, like, hey, you got one more injury in you. If it happens again, that's it. You know what I mean? So it's just I get it, man. I get it. As a man, you just like, hey, I'm a man. I'm gonna keep trucking. I'm a warrior. I'm a soldier. But when you got people that depend on you, then they're like, hey, I'd rather not have to push you around in a wheelchair for the rest of your life.
Yep. And
You know,
and they not even, and it's not even like he got the bag, dog. He's straight. I personally,
exactly,
I would have called it quits before. I wouldn't have even worried
exactly. He's
about this
rich.
contract. Like he was good before with the rookie deal. He was drafted number 5 overall, bro. He's good for
Yeah,
life.
he's rich. He literally could go to Hawaii or wherever the hell they're from and just live out the rest of his life, grow a beard, never to be heard from
Yeah,
again, make more babies,
yep. Plus,
and
he's got the movie deals, whatever little documentary. He's done some stuff on the side where, and in all honesty, if you really love the game that much, I'm sure he'll make a heck of a coach. You know what I mean? I'm sure he'll make, whether it's in college, NFL. I feel like he'll he could go to school, bro, just to get that itch off. Go teach these kids. Go to wherever whatever small town you want to go to in Hawaii or wherever you want to go live. Dog. If you want to go to the mountains and be the cold man who's like, oh, they said I couldn't be in the cold, I'm gonna live in the cold. Whatever. Dog. He could fulfill that itch, but we don't know. I don't know too. I've never sat down and talked with him.
he can go coach in Alabama. He can be a quarterback's coach in Miami. I mean, just be an advisor, like anything. I'm just saying, man, for health wise. But hey, as a man, I'm not gonna tell another man what to do because he's the one who has to live with himself and live with his decisions. So
Look in that
um,
mirror. Yeah.
so yeah, he has to look in the mirror and decide what he wants to do. So I'm not gonna look at it. I'm just disappointed that my two Cowboy fans didn't show up. So
Hey,
I'm disappointed in that.
you might need to put out a bolo because until they start winning, you may never see them again. If they don't win no more, you ain't gonna hear from them until off season, until the draft comes around.
I can't believe
Hey,
Ben.
hey,
I
hey,
cannot believe Ben.
Ben taking the longest shower ever, boy.
I know.
Yeah, damn, boy.
He crying, dog. Y'all never cried in the shower, man. Come
I
on,
know
let the man live, dog.
Ben don't work on Sundays, so I know he ain't got to clean himself up from work. As a man, he needs to get his ass up and throw the ball. As an empathetic human being, he should take a break. Hey, as a Dolphin fan, I want to see him lead my team to the promised land. But as a human being and as a father, I think he should just call it quits. But we'll keep up. We'll obviously stay. Keep a close eye on what's going on. Hey, fellas, shout out to Eddie Israel in the building. What's up, everybody? I hope it gets better. So, hey, man, y'all know this show isn't one of our long ones. So we done, fellas. I appreciate you guys coming up. It's time for me to go eat my lunch and finish watching the rest of the football. If I think Eddie, let me see, you guys got
The Texans tonight.
that's tonight. So the Bears
Yeah.
got the Texans. That's a loss for the Bears. And then Monday
Nah,
night
bro.
is
Nah, no way, dog. Texans over
yeah.
high, dog.
Now
Texans going down, bro.
the Bears anemic offense. The Falcons and the Eagles tomorrow night. I'm curious to see what MD has to say about that. But
hey, look at Thinking Black.
Thinking Black says Ben peeked out from behind the shower curtain. like damn, the show's still on. Yeah, hey, them Cowboys don't ever want to come to the beginning of the front of the congregation. Matua says peace, Redskins for life. I never met a Redskins fan. That's crazy. But again, fellas, man, appreciate you guys coming on. Y'all make sure and tune in tomorrow night for Man Talk Monday at 6:05 p.m. We will be doing our first ever movie review, something I've been wanting to review for a long time. We'll be reviewing the movie Baby Boy. So we'll see how that goes. Then Tuesday, be sure to be in the building. The Politics of Blackness Part 3. We are going to go ballistic on that show this Tuesday night. Then Wrestling with Reality this Wednesday. We'll finally get to the C+ player, Bret the Hitman Hart's run. That's why we're not making the playoffs.
Best there ever is, best there ever was, best there ever will be. Let's go.
Bret the Hitman Hart's WCW run. Hey, I'm a C+ YouTuber. YouTube has my channel as a C+. So, hey, that's fantastic. So being a C+ is not bad. It is not.
They got Bret Hart as a C+.
Yeah, Bret Hart is a C+ player at
Yo,
best.
he's the most underrated, bro. He carried that organization for a good amount of years, bro. I mean, he doesn't get spoken about enough, bro. Like honestly, I'm victim to it because it took me a while to realize, like, damn, why no one ever talks about Bret now? Like, what was wrong with him? Because everyone wants to talk about, all of everyone's favorites. He was so good, but just not everybody's favorite.
Tell him, man.
You know what I mean? Because he's definitely not my favorite. Far from it. I'd name 15 other guys before I named Bret. But if you want to talk about like actual ring talent, he's up there. You know what I mean? You see it on the field or in the ring.
Hey, tune in Wednesday because I'm gonna definitely have to come on and
just by what he said. He said he could name 15 other guys. Coco Beware. Oh my goodness. He could name 15 other guys before Bret. If that's not C+ territory, I don't know what is. But
hey, they got a big roster. Big roster for all the years.
So Eddie, I don't know if you caught the beginning, but just looking at the Dolphins schedule, all Skylar Thompson has to do is be a good game manager, and we may be okay until Tua comes back. I hope Tua doesn't come back and we get Ryan Tannehill, but it looks like he'll be back. So again, I'm not going to tell a man what they should do, man. Y'all make sure and subscribe to Eddie Israel's channel. I think it's called Men of God, if I'm not mistaken. Oh yeah, I really got to go. Somebody's ringing my doorbell.
Yeah,
I think it's called Men of God. Yeah, something like that. But Keela's not here to put the link in the chat. Eddie, you could put the link in the chat because you got a wrench. So, but y'all make sure and check that out. They do a lot of teachings and stuff like that. But fellas, I appreciate you guys coming through, man. Like I said, I gotta go. Somebody's ringing my doorbell.
Sure, man. Hey, I don't care what YouTube says, bro. You at least a B+.
hey, I listen, the C+ thing is an inside joke. It's because I know Bret Hart is Bone's favorite wrestler, so I always do that. And then I have some internet trolls that like to troll me, and they went and looked up my channel, and YouTube had it rated as a C+. So I say that kind of to acknowledge them a little bit. But that's A- max. Hey, I appreciate that, my hey man, but hey, like I said, man, we are out of here, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for Man Talk Monday. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your football. Peace.
Good show, bro.
Minutes to go. Oh, wait. We're hearing it now. The pick is in. Let's go to the commissioner and see what happens.
With the 5th pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback, Alabama.